All right.
We still don't
What's
have
up,
an intro.
Jack? Oh yeah, we need like an actual intro.
I know.
Hey, how you guys doing? It's
Yeah.
me.
I, and
It's
me.
you. It's
We're
him. And me and you.
and we're all here now for Schemeology, episode 9.
I'm glad you like brought it to like a real like thing.
I know, because
Yes.
otherwise we're just going to be in a loop of idiocracy.
Hey, it's me. Hey.
Hey, it's me
I'm
now.
like talking to the audience like they're retarded. Hey. Hi.
And
Ooh.
and we have here's the thing, we actually have a topic today for once.
We do. We
And
do.
this is something both you and I care deeply about and know, I was going to say too much about, but this is actually one where it's good to know a lot about, which is
100%.
fitness and diet schemes.
Yup.
Very excited.
Oh, I got stress. This is gonna be a good one.
I have a
So,
cup of coffee. I know that you're a big proponent of coffee to
uh,
to increase metabolism, so I've
A
got one
hundred
here for you.
percent, 100%, dude. There's so many, especially I think the tech people need this, and those are our people. That's our tribe. The okay, so right now there's this wave of all this like fitness influencers and health stuff going on. There's like, don't eat this, take this diet pill, it'll save your life, all that stuff. And there was that video of that guy who went to Dunkin' Donuts and what he it was like 185. He ordered like a large cup of coffee or something with a ton of
Yep.
stuff in it. It was 185 grams of sugar.
I mean,
Yes. So
185 grams of sugar in one coffee. That's now let's be clear. I don't want to give these people a complete out, because the amount of people that are like, I can't believe that this coffee has so many calories in it. It's like, it's literally sugar. It's like an
yeah.
iced frappa mocha latticino or whatever the fuck they're called. You know, like, and it's full of just complete utter sugar. It's literal poison for your body.
Yeah, if you had like two sips of that, that would actually be like too much. Like you
Oh,
need to like pull it back.
it would destroy me. It
And
would absolutely destroy me.
another crazy thing. So like I think what got me super interested in fitness and health was what like well first it was like I needed a reason to like get up when I was like 17, like out of bed. So I was like working out and I started realizing, oh, this actually makes me feel good. And then
Right.
like as I started working as a software engineer and I'm like sitting a lot, I'm like, wait, I need to like use my body during the day. So then I'd work out a ton at the end of the day and I started feeling really good doing that. But when I go on Instagram or if I go on TikTok and I see these fitness influencers, I'm like, oh wait, I'm a piece of shit if I don't bench 315 at 15 years old and have and I'm 250 pounds lean.
And by the way, you also aren't doing it to get chicks. And by the way,
Right,
Jared,
right.
that's crazy. That's crazy town.
I've actually never once done that. Yeah, or like that was never my mentality. In fact,
Well,
when I was 17, I didn't even care about girls at all.
I know. Well, here's the thing. It's like the second you get caught, like especially for exercise, the second you apply exercise for any outside stimuli, but other than your own, like, I need to do this for me,
Yeah,
you're never going to keep up with it consistently. It's very much a mental game. Against You're
yeah,
playing against yourself. You're not playing against anyone else.
yeah. No, no, you're playing against the fitness influencer who's like, if you can't bench 315 for 3 sets of 10, you're a fucking bitch. Which
We're fighting against V Shred.
wait, who's Vishra? Is that just another one?
Dude,
Is
you
that
never
just...
seen V Shred? V Shred's by far the
wait,
best
wait,
because
let me
he
look up V shred. Oh
Okay,
my
so let
god.
me give you an idea of what a V Shred video goes like. This is exactly how it happens. So V Shred starts off the video and he's like, are you trying to lose weight and by eating salad and working out on the time? What if I could tell you that you could eat all the 24 of these Dunkin' Donuts right now and still look hot? Hi, I'm V Shred, and he's got a rippling 8 pack. Like, he's in, I'll put it this way, he
Oh
looks
my
good,
god.
but
Yeah.
he's definitely not getting there by eating 24 donuts in a sitting. It's
And
so funny.
and I will say, because a part of me deep down, I wanted to have a knee jerk reaction where I was like, "Oh, well, he's probably taking something." I there that is another side, just to like say the other side, where people will be super quick to say someone's not natty. They'll be like super quick. They'll be like, it'll be like some guy who's like in pretty good shape, and they'll be like, oh, he's not natty. So I don't want to like do that. Like, and but
No,
a
his
ton of
body's
these,
but to your
yeah,
point, his body's not that crazy. It's not like he's. I
right,
know I have plenty of people in my life that look as ripped as he does. Probably good genetics. Maybe he's also on something, but there's lots of people who are just like
right,
have good genetics and work out really. Most people don't work, even myself. Most people don't work that hard. Are you working out till failure? Are you
right.
really extra? Like, are you? How long are the breaks between your sets? Like, are you really breaking a sweat? Well, that's the other thing is like, how many people do I go to the gym with who don't sweat while they lift? Dude, you should be drenched if you're lifting right.
Well, there's a point at which you're not going to be sweating a ton, though. Like if
It also depends on the
over
type of
time,
exercise, of course, and
yeah,
also and like how hot the gym is or whatever. I go to a really
yeah,
cold gym, so it takes me forever to break into a
yeah,
sweat.
yeah,
But like, if you should at least be breaking a sweat. Maybe you're not
yeah,
drenched.
definitely, definitely, yeah. Like yeah, you should be working hard. You should be like I think if you're lifting and you're doing the whole like, hey, what's up, Jared? It's Dan. Like who's yo? That's the most generic name of all time. You're like, hey, it's Dan. But
I know, especially because
I
it's
know
on
like a
it's on
billion
an
Dans.
it's on an alt account too. It's like it's
Yeah.
Zyphon is the name. It's not like it's Dan Smith. It's Zyphon. But nice to meet you,
Yeah,
Dan.
yeah, nice to meet you, Dan. So sorry, no, I'm not. I'm not trying to grill you when you're excited to be here. It's just that's just who I am. All right, but
Oh.
yeah, no, like it's so funny because yeah, like I feel like the gym culture around like trying to like just being there is working out is super bad, and then so like this is the what Dan do you know IRL? Okay, well, I, then now I assume. Uh, oh, I don't know you in real life. You're just saying your name. Okay. Oh no, I know this Dan.
Of course you know this Dan. It's
Oh, what's
obviously a
up?
Dan that you know.
Oh, yeah, no, dude, I trained Dan. Like he's like we all go to the gym together.
Oh, sweet.
Dan, what's up? Are you making gains? But anyway, so uh,
But
dude, you
that's a
made it
whole
to the right stream.
you did make it to the right stream, but that's the thing with exercise info. Like you can there's obviously nuance. A lot of these grifters, the thing that's most tricky about them, they are in good shape. and
Yeah, yeah, they are.
and that's the hardest thing. It's the same thing with my business, which is fundraising, helping startup founders raise money. It's like how many people aren't telling you the full truth about how they accomplish something. You know,
Yeah,
that's the problem with the fitness industry. There are people being like, "Yeah, you do it through," and the problem is most people don't want to hear the reality of how you get fit, eat healthy, run a calorie deficit, and work out really, really hard. Those are
work
the
out
three.
crazy hard.
That's it. Those are the three ways. So it's like
Uh,
everyone else wants us to be like, they want to lie to you and tell you that
yeah,
there's an easy cheat code. There's never, it's those three things. It's always been those things. It's going to forever be those three
and
things.
I think I might. This might be a ranting stream because I Dan just said he's been slacking, which just got me a little upset. But it's Dan. Why? You're wasting time. You get go hit the weights and eat. But like, you need a pep talk, Dan. Come on.
We need another. We had a halftime speech last episode. It's time for another halftime speech. Here's what I'll say: if you're not lifting hard, then develop another physical skill.
Right. True.
Right?
True.
Go
True.
start running more. What I like to
Yeah.
do because I get really bored of just constantly like if I just go into lifting, I get really into yoga.
Yeah.
I'll start running more. Then I'll start try go to this track and try sprints. And then I'll do like calisthenic workouts. Mix it up, but you can always be doing a different thing that's hard.
The LL Zyphons. Oh yeah, he does music. But anyway, so like I feel like I love what you just said because it's like whenever I've gotten out of a rut working out, it's always been like, okay, I'm gonna go now try getting my overhead better because my bench has been like lacking a little bit or something. Or it's like trying to improve yourself athletically, or it's like I'm gonna try to get a fast 100 now for the first time. It's like I think that will just get you out of any sort of rut when you're working out. It's and yeah, like no, but dude, like the fitness influencers, they'll like literally be hopped up on trend and like they'll be like 5 cycles by the time they're like 22 and then and they'll be the most jacked person alive, and they'll be like, dude, yeah, if you just okay, I eat tons of donuts. It's fine. Like the thing about eating donuts is you have to be burning the calories. It's like, dude, you're a hormonal experiment
Yeah,
right now. Like,
e- exactly. Again, to my point, it's like people lying to you about how they got to places,
yeah,
and not like accounting for the like if you're taking drugs to get ripped, like the unfair thing about life is that some people's genetics are better than others. So there's a large percentage of people out there. My brother, I have five idiots in my house right now that are staying with me, and
yeah.
they just opened my door. So sorry if anyone heard that. But
Oh, that's all right.
that's the thing. Is just like if you like genetics are not fair. So there's a lot of people who have incredible genetics who look aesthetically great not working out. Like if they're just really cut. Imagine
Yeah,
those kids when you were growing up who had six packs at like 11. I
right.
did not have a six pack at 11. That was not possible for my genetic landscape. I had other good attributes because
Yeah,
it's a spectrum of genetics, but like some people are
yeah.
just
A lot of
ripped most of the time.
yeah, a lot of people don't know that like how you aesthetically look. This is. I've been saying black pills. This is a black pill, and I'm just gonna be 100% real about it. How you and to Jack's point, how you aesthetically look overall, and let's say like after you've lifted like 2 years. Let's just say after that, because a lot of times you don't really know your genetic potential yet unless you push yourself. But after you've lifted 2 years, how you look aesthetically is pretty much just how you are after that. like puberty, a ton of like things that how you develop hormonally, especially like past like uh I don't yeah like puberty, like how you look is how you look. Um
Especially assuming, to jump in here really quick, especially assuming you have normal testosterone levels,
oh
right? Like
yeah, that too.
and like I know things about myself. Like I just genetically have a smaller chest, but I have really big traps, and my back can develop muscle much easier. And then
Nice.
I have like solid ab genetics, but my I have small calves but thick quads. It's just kind of how it shakes. But you
Yeah.
can see really quickly, like you'll see which areas of your body you can develop muscle on quicker than others, and the areas that are lagging, if especially if you're actually working hard and you actually know that you're working out the right way, if those areas are smaller than others and they don't look as good, it's probably just because you have different kind of genetics, and
And
it's just how it
also
is.
some people like there's been times where people have been like, "Oh, you look good," and I've literally been like, and they'll say like a weight that they think I am, and I'll literally not at all be that weight, and then they'll be like, "Oh, you look good" or something, and this is more a conversation on tracking your weights and things like that, and they'll say like people's mindset on like how much you weigh, and also there'll be times where I wouldn't be working out at all, and then like people will be like, "Oh, like what's the workout?" Or there'd be time. Well, that's more when before I was working out when I was like 15 or 16, and it'll be like, oh, I don't like work out. And I feel like a ton of people like always understand that people are just super different with how they physically look and how much they weigh. And that's why I think you should never try to track like I don't personally. I know Dan, you do this, but I don't think you should really track how much you weigh a ton, because it's like you're gonna weigh so vastly different. You should track your numbers, and that's really it. And then see how you look aesthetically is just gonna follow that. Like it's just a guy that can bench 200 at 160 versus a guy who can bench 100 160. Two different guys. Yeah.
I agree with Jared, except I will also say that if your weight is fluctuating over 20 pounds, maybe you should start getting on a scale. Because the amount
No,
of
true,
dudes who are
true,
going to be like,
true.
dude, I don't check my weight. I'm bulking. Okay.
No, I mean,
I'm not fat. It's bulking season. And
right.
Jared told me not to check my weight.
I mean, assuming you're a healthy weight, like if you check your numbers, you'll be like it's like you're because also like when you start, if you're losing fat, which you can like, there's points where you can get strong and be like shredding a bit. It's like you're gonna be getting like lean, like losing a ton of weight in that time, and you might be getting stronger. So it's like I don't think track it. And then the fitness influencers will be like, yeah, in like 1 year I went from like 140 to like 200 pounds, and it was really just like eating a ton of like chicken breasts, and yeah, Dan, you are a healthy weight, but and it's like yeah, I was eating a ton of chicken breasts, and I was just like lifting, and then now I make millions of dollars selling my ideas around fitness to people. It's like, dude, you're jacked up on trend, and you're not going to get boners after 30. Sorry.
Yeah, or the you know what's also annoying is all the influencers who are on like perfect cycles. You know, like
Yeah,
they're taking really high quality steroids and they're on testosterone replacement therapy and they're on like perfect scientific doses of stuff and they're like, "Listen, what you need is broccoli and chicken breasts." And it's like you make $8 million a year telling people to eat broccoli and chicken breasts, which then funds you paying a lot of doctors and physicians and pharmacists to
yeah.
inject you with a perfect cocktail of chemicals so you look dick skin shredded at 45. Like,
Yeah,
let's be very honest
I
about
think
what
we
you're
know who
doing.
we're talking. There's a recent Indian actor that actually I don't know. I think he said that he was not natty though. Maybe you know what
He
I'm talking
might have.
about.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I know who you're talking about.
yeah, like there'll be actors like, dude. There's one. I think it was which guy was it? It was, I think it was Captain America. That
Mm-hmm.
guy, like, was just saying like all this, like he was talking a ton of shit, or like not like in a bad way, but he was just saying like, yeah, I did this, and dude, it's just gotta like work out and all this. And I'm like, I'm, and also it's another thing like when vetting these fitness influencers, like who talks about genetics and who doesn't. That's a huge way to. It's like if you want to debunk
Right.
the fitness scheme, if someone doesn't ever talk about genetics, they're kind of fucking evil.
Right. I mean,
Like,
look, I think the
yeah,
classic Marvel guy is Chris Hemsworth, who's almost
that
a,
might be what I'm
a,
talking about.
a thousand. He's Thor. He's 1,000% on steroids. Let's also say he's like 6'3" or 6'4", beautiful, and has really great bone structure and like body frame. He had a
Right.
perfect frame for get. He had a great genetical frame for getting ripped,
Yeah.
and also he's on super steroids.
Right. Right. So,
But
and so it's
but
like,
the only problem with him is that he has an app that he sells to people that he's like, here's my fitness app, how I got shredded, and it's like, oh, well, I'm
he's
sure
like, I
those
was
would.
born really good, and I.
Right. I would love if he sold an app where you open it and it's like trend. It's just like
Or it's just pictures of his mom and dad. Like
it's
it's
just
just
him.
like,
It's just him shooting up steroids.
it's like that's so, and I get it because it's like you can make it because the fitness world there's tons of insecurity and anxiety, and
Yeah.
that's how the worst schemers will scheme there. Like, yeah, he's enhancing already good genetics. Like the worst schemers are the ones that are like, okay, where's the most anxiety? Relationships, like women, things like that, dating app, right? It's like, where's the most anxiety?
Political fear.
Political fear. Oh, every other day we're gonna have a civil war. Isn't that
The
weird?
Democrats are coming to kill you. The Republicans are coming to kill you. It's time
Yeah,
to vote now.
yeah. Isn't it weird how we've been like about to? I won't name any names, but someone does this a ton, where it's like, oh, we're gonna have a civil war. Like it's like for the past 5 years, tomorrow we'll have a civil war, but like the and maybe it'll happen tomorrow. Maybe I just said that, and that means it's gonna happen
You're
tomorrow.
not
But
stockpiling weapons because I've been collecting weapons for like 4 or 5 years now. I got a battalion that I'm training in my backyard doing
there's
Caesar
just a bunch of
formations.
fucking like nunchucks in your in your bag. You're
Yeah,
like,
it's just
I've been
it's total.
stacking up.
It's just dork weaponry. It's like I've got a fucking halberd. Like someone shoots me with an AK-47 immediately.
That's what I imagine. Whenever people say that Chester's stocking up, it's like they just have a ton of like ninja gear and
Ninja
like
stars on a wall. They're throwing it into a dartboard, being like, "I'm totally fucking badass. I'll totally kill those guys
okay.
when they come."
Quick aside on the whole like prepping thing. We'll get back into it. I just have a quick thing that I that blows my mind that people don't fully understand with the prepping. Okay, you know what? And I won't say any bad words here, like I did last podcast. But you know what you need to worry about when the world collapses? It's okay. It's not really how much like you should have like I'd say maybe like a month's worth like of food always, but like you need to worry about the roving gangs of dudes that are super violent who are going to take your shit, okay?
Yes, the
Of
people.
dudes.
Yes, the roaming bands of degenerates that are going to be that are going to be marking their own like martial law, being like, I think I should be in charge now, and I'm going to get my
Yeah.
bang of guys to come, get you.
And they're gonna be like, oh wait, I heard there's a dude that just prepped and he has a ton of like nunchucks and like baked beans. Like, let's just take all his
What?
shit.
Oh fuck! I shouldn't have told the stream about my nunchucks and baked beans. I'm totally gonna get robbed during the apocalypse now. God damn it!
It's like, and I'm not saying don't. Obviously, like, yeah, like you should. Everyone should always be prepared, but the real prepared is make sure you have like a community and you know people and you have value to your community, so they don't want to kill you, right? Like that's really like anyway.
You're describing the
Back
boys having the
yeah,
gang,
exactly.
the
Yeah,
dogs.
have your own gang that so you don't be
Well, that's the thing is,
uh,
I always envisioned. I'm not. I won't lie. I've thought about this scenario, this exact scenario. My buddy
yeah,
Avery's up in the Hudson Valley. I drive up
nice.
there or I hike up there. It's like 50 miles. I can make it from the city. Worst case, I'll probably die getting out of the city. But assuming I make it, I'm going to his place. He's got
Nice.
couple hundred guns
That's a
stockpiled. He's
ton.
maybe it's a lot of hunting. They also own anyway. Let me put
Okay.
it this.
Oh yeah,
They
just
have
don't get into
reasons
it.
to have weapons, but
Yeah, yeah,
point being they have weapons, and I'm going up to his place, and we're going to hunker the fuck down. We want tents, generators, electrical supplies. His grandfather that knows how to fix every engine under the sun for him to
yeah.
teach us
Awesome.
forever how. We need to find a cracked old mechanic.
Yeah,
Everyone needs one of those in the apocalypse.
100%.
And assuming we make it that far, then we all really need to start thinking about how to ward off the gangs of degenerates.
And you notice how through all that you never once mentioned. Listen, guys, we got to really work on our abs. As soon as the collapse happens, we have to all get six packs immediately.
Right. What are your macros? Are you hitting your macros? I've got this pea protein that you're going to really like. It's perfect for apocalypse foraging and for marauding around and stealing other people's things during the apocalypse. You're going to need the pea protein, I'm telling you.
Yeah, like it's like you're not gonna be. The thing about the macros thing is absurd in my opinion. But like the whole like it's like yeah, in general, get carbs, fats, and it's proteins. Like it's not. You should know when you're starving. So like, but like there's a like when shit actually hits the fan, you really need like you'll then know what your macros are. You're gonna be like, oh my god, I need to eat like a chicken wing right now, or else I'll like starve. And it's like that doesn't fit all your macros evenly, but you'll really like that chicken wing.
Oh, I have a friend that's staying with me down here. He's he's probably like 10% body fat. He's very lean. He's very cut, but he's so anal about what he eats. He's like literally
Yeah,
he has a piece of like grilled chicken that's like the clubhouse or a restaurant nearby made him, and he's like shaving off like the little blackened exterior on the chicken breast and throwing it away. We just worked out for 2 hours, by the way, literally me
yeah,
and him. And I'm watching him do this, and I'm like, buddy, I'm like, that's you're not getting fat doing that. But he's so like obsessed
yeah,
and scared of getting fat and eating poorly. He's like cutting out the fat in prosciutto slices. We have like a
yeah.
charcuterie board, and he's like literally cutting out the fat.
Tell
I'm
them
like,
that fat isn't what makes you fat. It's but yeah, that's fine. I
it's the
I've
irony.
been like that though.
I
I've
get it.
100% like I've had times where I'm like, oh my god, if I touch this like thing. I'm currently like that with seed oils because like I think I'm like currently like super. I'm like crazy actually about it, but I'll
Dude,
get like that with diet stuff.
it's good to be conditioned against seed oils though, because they're literally poison.
Yeah, like I'm trying to make sure like and I can taste it now. Like I can taste like I thought vegetable oil just had a completely neutral taste. It does not.
No.
I can tell when stuff
You get way more
does, and it's
indigestion. It's
yeah,
especially if like for me, it's like my stomach. I get acid reflux. It
yeah.
fucks my stomach up immediately. If I have like really cheap oils that you're cooking with, I'll get sick.
And that's like the actual stuff that matters when it comes to like health and fitness. Is like it's like okay, you got. And I'm all about working out and like and getting in shape, but it's like if your diet is like if you're consuming a ton of chemicals, like you're gonna get cancer. You're like something like you're gonna get hormonal issues. Like it's not good. The hormonal thing is really what we need to like the low test levels in America. It's like I don't care how much you're working out. If your testosterone's low, you're not gonna like look good or be in shape. Like
Yeah,
And if
it's
your testosterone is high, then you don't have to work out at all, and you can always look okay.
dude, and it's tough because so many people just like the what you like. Obviously, we're not going to live forever. None of us are going to make it out alive.
How
All of
dare
us,
you?
all. Sorry, bud. I hate to break it to you, but we're all mortal. But like, you should absolutely optimize for your health because if you see someone like seeing my parents at 60 opposed to other people at 60.
Yeah,
I mean, I
yeah.
see some people at 60 and I go, oh no. What have you been doing? You've been fat. You've never
Booze.
exercised. You've been drinking consistently. And you've never exercised and eaten healthy. And you've been eating fast food. And they have so blood cancers. They're obese.
Yeah.
They have diabetes. They're on heart medication. They're on stroke medication. Every sort of medication under the sun. And it's like, if you just were a 21 to 25 BMI your entire life, you would have not if and you live this long, assuming
Yeah.
nothing crazy happened, you would be fine. You would
Yeah.
actually feel fine. You'd actually feel pretty good.
Yeah, there needs to be like like a fat fucks d fat fuck yourself camp. Did I say that right?
It's you're talking. You've reinvented the fat fuck, except you want to insult them on the way in, which I think is hilarious.
Well, no, there's a camp where you go and you're only called fat fuck until you just lose until you get out of that. You're just fully like just dehumanized. Like you're just given a number. Everyone who's not in shape in America is dumb, stupid, fucks. Yeah. Well, to be fair, the food in America is kind of designed to kill you.
Yeah, and
Um,
also I don't know if you've ever been to Europe, but no one there works out. It's not like the rest of the world is exercising all the time.
yeah, but they
Literally,
have better
America works.
hormones.
That's true,
Yeah,
but America works out more than any other country on the planet.
yeah, we do.
It's
It's
by far. Have you ever tried going to the gym in Italy? There's like four in all of Rome.
Yeah. When I was going in Europe when I was 20, I would every country I try the gym, and like I'd be like, what the like, or I'd
They're
try
like,
like a
oh,
gym
we
there.
have dumbbells up to 30 here. If you need to
Yeah,
30s, you did the bench press with 30 pounds. That's good.
I'd be like, what the and their commercial gyms are so well in Europe in a lot of the European cities. Their commercial gyms would be so expensive, and I know it's crazy here at some places, but like there's always like a cheap like the gym I go to, which has a ton of it's fairly local, has a ton of stuff. Is like $15 a month, and like the it's like they have everything, best equipment, best supplements. You got to take advantage of the situation here. That's why you got to be in shape, 100%.
Yeah,
You look,
America like
yeah,
it's it I will say there's a huge swath of America that's just so impoverished and sick and been conditioned to be impoverished and
yeah,
sick and uneducated that like that you think about that's the other thing that we don't talk about the ugly truth about it. Think about how many people just they haven't even made it to the point of getting to the gym. They're literally worried about putting food on the table or they're like
yeah, yeah,
I'm addicted to meth and I have three kids and I need to somehow provide them food and also afford methamphetamine and I make $15 an hour. That's
yeah,
like 20 million Americans. And then there's a whole just spectrum of people out there who are having real struggles that are so above working out, like in terms of priority, like
yeah.
uh, getting unaddicted to drugs, not being 1,000 pounds. How about you cut down to 300 from 700? You know what I'm saying?
Also,
Like,
like, and I know, maybe I'm not in a position to say this, but fuck, I'll also say it. Like, because there's been situations in my life where if I like very, I'm not gonna compare myself to anyone at all, but like I was in relative to my current situation low, and like in all those situations, finding a better habit like exercising was crazy because it's like okay if the best part of your day is something low like drinking or
mm-hmm.
whatever you do change the best part of your day to something like working out and then your life like things are just gonna like change like naturally and I get like everyone's in their own situation but like the thing that really I think that we have like a this is a mentality shift and I know this is something because you seem to be very productive so I know you also get what I'm saying here the hours you have in a day are so many
There's a ton of hours in the
even
day.
if you work a 9 to 5 job even if you work 40 hours full time job a week. And I'm saying if you're a single person, not if you have kids, because that's you have a ton of stuff you have to do.
You have
But if
a
you're a
ton of
single,
stuff. Please be doing a lot of stuff if you have children. If you're
yeah,
not doing a
yeah,
lot of stuff and you have
yeah,
children,
yeah,
there's
yeah.
a problem.
If you have a lot of hours a day for kids, then like I don't want to be around your kids when they grow up because they're gonna rob me. But like but if you're a a single person, you have a ton of hours in your day and make the most of it. Like one of those hours, exercise. You know.
Yes. Totally.
Oh,
And
yeah,
here's the thing with exercise is it again, you have to make it something that's for you. But the big thing is like when you start at if I have a lot of days where I'm a lazy fuck. Happens to the best of us where you just don't really do much.
yeah,
Especially if you have your own business or things are on autopilot sometimes or it's the summer depending on what kind of industry you're in and you're just slacking off. On those days, that eats at you. If you're really not being
yeah,
productive, but you know what I feel really good about? I did run 6 miles this
yeah,
morning.
yeah, yeah.
I go, that was pretty good, man. And I go to bed thinking, at the very least, I took care of the most important thing I have, which is my body. It's the only thing. It's one of the only things I have control over, which is the most important that all of us can work on every single day.
And and I'm gonna shout out a fitness influencer here. I don't know. I know now he's getting into some content that is different, and I'm not. I don't really watch his stuff anymore. But I'd say 4 years ago, when I was really getting into lifting, Eric Bugenhagen had.
Hmm.
He's like one of the Boogs. He's like this wrestler guy. He has one of the best. He has some of the best advice for strength, and but also to your point of like that positive mindset. Like he actually is one of the few people I saw like really talk about the mindset of it, and like how like and he's like he says he's I don't know if he's natty anymore, but back then he would say, "Yeah, I'm like super natty." Now like
I know this
he
guy, by the way. I
in
found
real
him on.
life,
No, no, no. I found him on YouTube Shorts. My brother showed me a video of him like he's like fucking around with his kids, like
yeah,
benching.
yeah, yeah.
He's hilarious. He's
He's
so fun.
hilarious, dude. He's I think now he's in WWE, so he's like he's gotten big because to stay competitive in there. But dude, he's
Dude,
so funny.
WWE is hard though.
Yeah, it's hard on the body.
Oh
Yeah,
god.
I hope he stays healthy.
Me too.
Because he's the awesome dude, and there's videos where he like because his whole thing is he was natty, and he'd have these clips of him like deadlifting like 700 pounds and like doing these crazy lifts,
Hmm.
and he was just like a natty guy, and like he wasn't like too big, probably like around 6 foot 6'1" or something. Like and he's like literally like deadlifting 700 pounds as like a natty. Concussions are good for your health, keeps your brain on its toes. Yeah, dude, like the concussion, oh man. The whole like dude,
Have you ever had a concussion?
I played like football from 7 to 14, so I luckily I stopped by the time people were getting too big because I'm so glad that I didn't because like now I'm looking back and I'm like wait I might actually be like like have brain problems right now. But I definitely got a concussion before, and it's not good for you at all. I learned a bunch from Virtuvian Physique on YouTube 4 or 5 years ago. There's like good dudes out there, YouTuber dudes out there. There's also the ones that are like, hey, if you
The
there's
demon schemers, as we like to call them.
there's this one. Have you seen the kid on I think he's probably like 21 or 2, but he's the most jacked person I've ever seen on fuck. You had to have seen him. He's on YouTube Shorts. Does someone know what I'm talking about? He's getting big now. And he's like and like dude, he'll be like this is my like dinner today. It's like a ton of Krispy Kreme and a ton of like a ton of just like random like or like a ton of like raw eggs, ton of Krispy Kreme, and a ton of and then you're just like he's like and then he's always out of breath. What's that fucking guy's name? I feel
I
like
don't know. I
have
but
you haven't
here's
seen him?
no, dude. I live under a rock. I don't watch anything on social. I got social media to promote Schemeology.
True,
The
true.
only reason I have any social media is to build our brand as schemers. I'm scheming.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, the only reason why to be on the internet is if you're scheming. 100%. Yeah, you ever do Go Mad?
Y'all eat raw eggs? No, I don't eat fucking raw eggs. I cook my eggs. There's more protein in cooked eggs.
The yeah, I cook them. I mean, like I cook so many eggs. I mean,
Oh, I
it's
had
so
five
many.
eggs today. I ate
Yeah,
4 or 5 eggs every day.
yeah, that's like me.
But
Today's only like
my
three.
cholesterol's great though. I went to the doctor. I was That was the one concern I had because I have a lot of eggs and meats. And I went to the
Yeah.
doctor and they're like, "You're in perfect health. Your cholesterol is fantastic." And I was like, "Really?
You know what
God."
though? They probably there's a chance when you're especially like in your 20s, they'll just say stuff so you can leave.
Well,
Like,
no, I got my readings back. Thankfully, I actually had my cholesterol readings.
oh, okay, oh,
So
okay. So you actually know the number.
I also yeah I also researched.
Yeah,
I don't I'm dude. We're schemers. We're skeptical of
yeah,
everyone. I don't blame.
100%.
It's not a it's just I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical
No,
of
I
you.
don't. Yeah, I don't trust doctors or you. I
You
don't.
shouldn't. You definitely should not trust me that much. I'm
Yeah,
wrong
like
most of the time.
it's like yeah. I texted you my SSN the other day, and just in case, and I felt weird about it. I was like, why is he? He's like really trying to get this, but I don't know.
Well, I need it
Trust you, bro.
as your business partner. I don't know if you realize this, but this is a business, and as your
True,
business
true.
partner, I need to know everything about you. So if you could send me those fingerprints later, like I asked, just
Oh
fax them
yeah,
to
yeah. I
me.
sent
That's
that
fine.
right through the Scheme Buddy app.
The Scheme
Well,
Buddy
dude,
app. That's right.
imagine if like you had different Schemeology like podcasts with different guys, and you were like testing it with all these different people, and
And I
like it was
scam all the others except the one guy I don't scam. I actually go into business with him at the end.
well, like you're just seeing who's gonna be a good co-host, and you're just like starting up all these. That's like top psychotic scheme. Can we talk about the Flappy Bird scheme today or next week? What's the Flappy Bird scheme?
Do you remember Flappy Bird?
Yeah, yeah. Do you mean just like making games and making money off of it?
Yeah, making a viral game. I believe that's what he's getting at here, which is
Well,
certainly a scheme. I can go back to my Minecraft days in a
so
heartbeat. Are you kidding me?
I want to go back into the fitness, but real quick, I think this is mostly for Dan. I wanna so I want to do a game, and I want to do a game that's based on that's gamifying Tinder to see whether or not these girls have body counts, or like what they're to use AI to guess what their body count is. And I think that would be an interesting.
You,
No, don't
I,
even use Tinder. Don't use Tinder.
of course not. I
Tinder's.
mean,
I'm kidding.
we're obviously kidding. It's a again, but here's the thing. It's a fun idea. I don't know what metrics you'd be using for that. It's certainly a wild
Uh,
ball.
I would just be making it up,
Of
honestly.
course, it's just you're literally making it up. It'd be
Like
funny.
the AI is
There's
just me. Like I'm just like responding to every. I'm like
You have to respond to everyone. You're like, dude, this is getting tiring. I'm getting
like,
so many people. This app is asking me to guess body counts all the time. I'm losing interest.
oh, guess their body fat. No, guess their body count. Yeah, oh yeah,
Body fat's easier.
the body fat. Okay, back to the fitness stuff. The body fat scheme is crazy because people will be like, "Oh, it's like optimal for you to be like." It's like, yeah, anyone who says it's not optimal for you to be like 7 to 8% body fat is like out of their mind. And it's like,
Also, I just want to throw all those people over a cliff because like, do you know how hard it is to be 7 or 8% body fat without
dude,
literally starving yourself?
I've been very low, like super low, and I can tell you it's not good for you. Like 100%. It's not
How
it's
low do you
very
think you've
unhealthy.
been?
Um definitely under 10 before. But I naturally am low body. Like I have to try
Hmm.
to raise it a little. Um like
Having spent time with you in person, you're very lean. Like
yeah, like
I have a low body percent. I'm pretty low body fat. I'm probably 13%. You know.
oh dude, and last time I saw you, I was like that was actually probably the higher body fat I've been. Yeah, cuz like recently like I've been like kind of shredding a ton, but it felt good. It felt good at first, but then after a while it was like fuck. It was like fuck. It was like it's not good for you to do that. You should be like
No.
12 to or like probably 12 to 14 is ideal.
Yeah, you can. I think up to like there's I don't know. I think I've seen a lot of I have a lot of friends who hover the under 20% for a man. I think you could be bigger at 18, 19%. That you have some heft to you. My brother, who's the same
Yeah,
size as me, he's probably 200 pounds. I'm 170. We're identical twins. So this is a good reference point for people.
he's too
Um,
hundo.
he's 200, but he's big. Like he's
Yeah,
lifted
he
hard for
is.
a long time, but he's probably in, I would say, the 17 or 18%, maybe even 19%
He
body
looks
fat
healthy.
range. He is healthy. If you're under
Yeah,
20% body fat as a man and he works out hard, he just drinks and hangs out and has a nice time as a young dude and doesn't care. But he travels a lot for work too, so he has to eat shitty food when he's
yeah.
traveling. So it's harder for him to maintain a better regimen. But he's still very healthy and in good shape, and he looks awesome.
Dude, really anywhere 10 to 20 is kind of fine. Never be under 10, in my opinion. There's no point. It's actually not good for your, like, that's not ideal for energy levels. It's fine for, like, hormonally, I think, but, like, it's not good.
Yeah.
And getting a dad bod is a scheme to get girls. Dude, the whole dad bod. What do you think about that whole dad bod meme?
Well, it wasn't really a meme as much as like, I think that attraction is obviously also like attraction largely depends on like social media and trends at any given point. Like people are very easily convinced to like think about what our parents grew up with in the 80s and 70s and 80s. Girls without butts, models without butts was like the most like that was the thing.
Yeah,
Having a
who
butt was a
likes
bad.
that?
Well, they loved it in the from like 1940 to 1980. That was the thing. To not, even to the 2000s, that was
They're
the thing.
like, she has the butt of a little boy. It's like, no, that's not what anyone's into.
But my point being that like attraction changes. It's kind of a fad. It was
Yeah,
then, and so it makes sense that it would be now. But I think the dad bod thing is also a security thing too for a lot of people. It's like this person is not threatening me with how attractive they are. I
I see
think
what you're saying.
there's probably something there too.
Yeah.
It's less threatening to them.
Also, if girls like they'll like when your girl wants to like cook you a ton, like she's trying to hold you down. She's trying to get you because if you're like just crushing and you're like
The
at the
nurturing
gym and
is this more nurturing mother thing?
well, that was devouring mother. No,
Oh,
that is actually similar, but this is more mating though. That's mother kid relationship.
a
Look
little
up devouring
Oedipusy.
mother. But yeah, this is more like if she's cooking, you want your girl to cook for you, but you got to be like, listen, I got to go to the gym sometimes. Like
Yeah, of course.
listen, like
I mean, I cook my own food, but you could also go to the gym too.
yeah, you could do both.
Someone making you food, it's also like how many times a day are you eating? Eat 3 times a day at a maximum. Stop
Yeah,
eating all these times a day. All these
no,
people are,
dude.
I need a snack right now. I'm tired. It's like you've been sitting down for 8 hours on your computer. You're not tired and you're not out of calories yet. Shut up.
A lot of people, times people say they're tired. What they really mean to say is, I have low energy because my testosterone level is low, and I don't do anything about it. That's
But
really
also,
what.
and also, if you don't exercise and your body is just unhealthy, even if your testosterone isn't affected, you also have low energy. You
It's true.
condition your body to have less energy. I think about like the people in my life who
I
have
know.
the
Yeah,
most,
yeah, yeah.
the people in my life who have the most energy work out constantly. It's also a little bit they're correlated. The more you exercise, the more energy you have generally. You're
Yeah, yeah,
building
hundred
strength. You're
percent.
building endurance for life. That's the
Yeah, yeah,
reason we exercise.
girls want their boyfriend to have a dad bod because they don't want him to attract other girls. That's really what I mean. But through a certain phase. But if you give into it, they won't be your girl anymore. But anyway, I don't know if you talked about this before, but is fasting a scheme?
No, fasting.
Um,
I fast constantly. Fasting
yeah,
works.
fasting's great. I
The
mean,
the
it's a scheme, as in like people do sell it sometimes, but like
That's
it,
exactly what they're taking something which is all fasting is it's a program for how do you maintain energy while also running a calorie deficit. And
yeah,
if you
yeah,
that's the it's fasting is not a scheme. It's just if you only eat twice a day for 2 meals and you're a grown man and you also exercise, there's a high likelihood, even if you gorge yourself on like chicken and broccoli in those 2 meals, or or joking around here, but like if you gorge yourself only twice a day, it's very likely you're going to be under your calorie like
Yeah.
your required calories to survive as a person, which means you're going to lose weight. The longer you run, if you say your maintenance calorie level is 2100, if you run at 2000 calories a day for a year, you will lose a fuck ton of weight and you're going to look really good.
And if you're lifting at that time, which like it's a mental shift to be in a deficit and lift a ton and do strength lifting because it's like it sucks at first and you don't know how to do it. And but like I promise you if you do that, you're gonna look like good. Or you're gonna have like a more like you're going to be losing fat and you're going to be maintaining muscle, and that's how like people
Yeah,
actually, that's how a lot of these models actually do it, is they'll like lift heavy as they're shredding a ton, and they probably won't be making like a ton of like progress in the lifting, but they're maintaining the
totally.
lifts, and then
But
they're
also,
just
like,
like,
anyone who complains about it, this is what I've had to eat today. I had an egg sandwich this morning with prosciutto, 4 eggs, and cheese, and hot
hell
sauce,
yeah,
and then I had some strawberries,
nice,
and then I'm gonna eat dinner after this. But that's all I've
yeah,
had, and I worked out for 2 hours. I'm fine.
dude. When that's also how I eat. That's literally that's funny because yeah, I'll just have like a huge egg sandwich. But yeah, dude, when we were kids, you know what they said? They
But
said
how many calories is that, Jared? That's under 1,000
it's
calories
under 1,000. Yeah,
easily. It's like
but
maybe
you'll be
700,
fine.
800 calories. I'm fine.
But you know what they said as a kid? They were like 6 meals a day. That's what they said in my school. That they were like, you need 6 meals. You need six, and then they showed us each of the 6 meals every day,
Yeah,
and they showed us the
Nestle
pyramid.
paid every school in America to put up that poster, which is like, you need Reese's Cups at 3 p.m. every day. That'll make you healthier.
It's crazy. Yeah, heavy compound movements. It's so funny because well if you want the best fasting I've done, where it's like I just feel incredible day to day to day, but you have to stop because eventually my body fat percentage was like insane,
Sure.
and I needed to eat real like food, which I'm in a phase of getting
Yeah.
get eating more food again. But the best fasting was coffee and green tea. That's it throughout the day. Maybe like a banana, and then don't eat until like five after five
Yep.
or like six, and then like have like a huge meat based like pasta meal or something, and then I'll just do that like day to day to day because you're jacking up your metabolism. You're also satiating yourself with the green tea, and also it's balancing your hormones. Like, dude, like that. Yeah, I just felt so good doing
Yeah.
that. So good.
The one meal a day, I also feel I've done it before. I've never done it that consistently. I've done it maybe I do it. I had a period where I was doing it maybe 2 or 3 days a week. I do about a 24-hour fast, almost
Yeah.
at least every 2 weeks, but a lot of times once every.
Nice.
I do it, but oftentimes it just happens naturally, where I literally will like I'll go out partying with my friends, or like we'll eat a bunch and we'll drink, and then the next day I won't eat till 5, and it will literally
Also,
just be me course correcting for the day before.
that produces HGH too. Like it's like that's like a natural way to produce that. You don't have to.
But I will say, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, no, I was just saying you don't have to like put it in your body. It's like fasting will do it.
It absolutely works. I mean literally the strongest guy I know eats one meal a day at dinner. It's my buddy from Soa from Serbia. Shout out, he's the man.
Yeah,
He's probably like 5'11", 185 right now. His max squat was probably 750. His max deadlift was around the same. His max bench was over 500. He's
dude.
he's less now. His max bench. He was like, oh, I'm weak now. I'm probably 370. I was like,
What?
his max bench right now is
So
like three.
he's power lifter, right? Like,
But he's been powerlifting since he was 14, and he
and
was
how old is he now?
24.
Dude.
He has,
Yeah,
and he's
that's a
also
lot.
has he has fantastic workout genetics. He's like
Yeah,
and he's the most diligent, hardworking person I know.
that's
Also,
awesome.
big time schemer, super successful. Mega proud of him. I love that guy to
Dude,
death.
those numbers at 185?
Not anymore.
Oh.
No. That was when he was like maybe 210. That was when he was like,
Oh, okay. I thought you
oh
said he did those
no
at
no
180. Oh,
no.
that like freaked me out a little. I was
No,
like,
right now his numbers right now, like I said, are like three. I think bench for 370, and then probably like somewhere in the fives for
nice
both
for
squat
both.
and deadlift. Probably somewhere in the fives.
That's awesome. I'm trying to get there. Yeah, dude, that's Tarzan.
Yeah.
That's my meals of. Yeah, dude. Yeah,
But
fasting every day.
when I was with him in Paris, I was hanging out with him the other month. He literally, we sat down. He had a gigantic gyro. He had a second, and then he's like, "Can we get burgers?" He's like, He could just eat. The man could go. He literally ate
uh,
3,000 calories in one sitting in front of me.
well, he's been training to eat since he was 14.
Yeah,
Oh, dude. Speaking of the okay, so the whole like
he's 5'11". Reed, sorry, quickly.
yeah, which still and also that's crazy that he's not like because when you said 210, I thought you're or when you said 185, I thought like oh, okay, well he's like 5'6" because there's dudes that their leverages are perfect for squatting if they're short, and they'll just have the craziest numbers ever. Um, oh yeah, but oh yeah, so the way the in high school please be like shake your wrestler's hand, your wrestler buddy's hand, because that dude is going through hell. The dieting these wrestler kids go through when they're kids totally destroys them. I don't think any kid should like ever cut through puberty at all. That's crazy.
No,
And there'd be kids that are like cutting down like 20 pounds in a week, like every like month or something. Dude, that's something we got to get out of our culture. That's like I don't know if anyone wrestled here.
no, we
A
should
couple of my
leave.
friends did, and I was like, dude, what are you doing?
Wrestling is it's the hardest sport, especially in high
Super
school.
hard.
My brother would go. It's like it'd be 2.5 hours, 3 hours after school every
Yeah,
day. But it's 2.5 or 3 hours of the hardest exercise on the planet. And he was,
yeah,
and we were bigger and chunkier when we got into high school. Yeah, I'm almost 6'2" now, like maybe a little bit under, and we were big kids back then. He would be wrestling with the seniors in freshman year.
yeah,
So he's like, I haven't hit puberty yet. I'm just big for my age, and I'm wrestling with a guy who's like full on like maybe like 5'8", but like ripped at 5'8" and he's 17, kicking his
yeah.
ass.
Because they do it by weight, right? Like they don't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He
So
was like a 145, 150 in freshman year of high school, just a big
dang.
kid, and
Yeah.
he's getting his ass kicked.
Dang. And I feel like yeah, he's drinking again. That's what the go mad. Well, the go mad stuff came from football and wrestling culture.
Yeah.
Where it's like there's a book where it was like it was just like this squats milk book where it just tells you to drink like a gallon of milk a day and squat like tons and tons, and then that's how you'll be able to make your varsity team. And that book was like crazy in in the 80s. I don't know if anyone knows that one, but yeah, that's a huge strength like book. I'm not about go mad. I did like
Yeah, you
half
had
of
a
it.
milk period. I remember the
I had a
milk
milk
period.
period. No, you I actually talked to you after my milk period. It was post milk.
I
I
don't know.
was in my
You were recommending milk a lot to me. You were
because
still.
it helped. Like I like it recently helped me, and I was in a phase after where I was like, dude, you got to drink that milk, dude.
I listen.
It's
It does. I think milk is a very. It can be great.
yeah.
It can be very. It's useful, but like the primary way you should be getting strong is probably not by drinking milk.
Well, the primary way you should be drinking milk should be from your mom until you're like two, and maybe just a glass of milk a day after. No more than that.
Yeah, you gotta cut down on the milk consumption at a certain point in your time in your life. You can't be just drinking mother's milk until you're like 20 years old. How many weirdos are probably getting deep into the GOMAD diet just because they want to suckle on mother's
That's
milk?
so
They have some
funny.
weird fetish attached to it. I guarantee
Well,
that's part of it.
I saw a tweet where someone was talking about how like like there is some like mental thing with that. Like you are kind of like you're drinking mommy's milk a little bit. I and I thought that was fascinating. I'm sure some psychologists broke that down. I heard it's not great to drink too much though, due to draining your body of nutrients faster than your intake. Um, I don't know much about that. All I
With
know is,
milk,
yeah, I never heard about that.
never heard about that either.
That's interesting though. I feel like for nutrition for lifting, like in lit, all you need to do is like eat like a ton of meat and get like maybe pasta, get some like carb to reinforce it, and you'll be fine.
You're really anti-vegetable. I would say have like a healthy amount of Like a for me, my preferred way to like eat like a bunch of
Oh,
salmon and then have stir fried vegetables over rice.
oh,
It's a great dinner. Or I like to make Mexican food a lot. I like to do like a bunch of roast chicken, some beans, some rice, saute some peppers and onions, get some
no.
homemade guac.
Oh,
You hate vegetables.
you
How do
had
we
me
get,
there.
we got to get you on board with vegetables.
Like this actually just totally reminded me. I was on a date once, and this girl was asking me about like what I eat, and I was saying like what I eat, and I just said like a ton of like meat sauces and pasta, and then she was like, "So like, do you eat any vegetables?" And I was like, "Well, I have a ton of potatoes," and then she was like, "But do you eat any like green?" And I remember like hearing like seeing this, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't talk about. And then she was like, "Oh, so like I think I get it." Like she was like, "So do you are all guys like this?" Like I think I just ruined her perception of guys. Like it's
You
like yeah,
ruin
we all
men.
just it's like yeah, we don't eat no. No, vegetables are fine. You know, I had a phase where this was like when I was like a teenager, but I was like so poor, and I was like eating like literally chicken breast and broccoli and sweet potatoes every single day. But like that's actually healthy as fuck. And like I didn't know that I was being super healthy because that was like the cheapest thing I could. Well, not the sweet potatoes, but like it was like the cheapest thing I could eat, and I did feel amazing. I'll be honest. Maybe I'm missing some vegetables in my
You're
diet,
definitely missing vegetables. Vegetables will make you feel really good. It's
dude.
impossible to feel bad eating a lot of carrots and potatoes and broccoli and spinach and
You know
meat. I
what's my
love I love eating all of them together.
you know what's my feel good meal? Clams. Clams and oysters. Dude, I'll just down a ton of clams and oysters and I'll feel like I can literally like kill an ox right after. It's
Where
purely mental. That's all that's
you a couple years I literally I you don't know how many times just like randomly I started laughing about this, remembering the times you told me to eat like stone crabs. You're like, dude, I have been
I
crushing
remember that.
stone crab, and I'm like,
Yeah.
in order to bulk, bro. And
Dude,
that is still the funniest fucking thing in the world to me.
I dude, I would literally like get and like you'd think, oh, he got like a lot of snow crab legs, and you're thinking like, like two, like three of the little like, dude, I would get so many, and I would just like I'd get more than you're thinking, and I would just like like I would eat butter, just like, and they give you like the broccoli and and I'd be like, fuck this, and to just toss that away, and I'd just be eating the crabs. They give you like the potato and broccoli mix with it, and dude, that was like with like Cajun seasoning, dude. That was when I hit like some of my best numbers though, like that,
Yeah,
and
you're
that was
eating
it.
180 grams of stone crab a day. I mean,
Dude, it was like super not like cost effective. Like that's
well, that was the other thing with your recommendation. I was like, what am I going to be spending $50 every time I buy meat at the grocery store? That's going to be a day worth of food.
yeah, and I wasn't preparing it. I was getting it at the local place, and they make it for me, and they're just like, this guy really likes snow crabs,
I can.
dude.
Hey,
But
you're like
it
a
made me
normal,
strong.
healthy looking person too, so that's the funniest part. Because like normally when these people are getting
I,
like a repeat customer coming back and buying thing over thing, it's someone who's like, "My name's Chumbo. I've been eating this thing place for the last 50 years." Meanwhile, you like a healthy young man's like, "Hi, miss, can I get 5 orders
whoa,
of the stone crab?"
dude, do you do totally random? Do you do hot pot ever?
Like make a stews and stuff.
No, no, no. Like the hot pot places, like the Asian places.
Yeah, I've been a couple times in the last 2 months, maybe 2 or 3 times.
My buddy Tony, I don't know if I think he'll sometimes be here, but I don't know if he's chatting. We're going tomorrow, once a week now, to this hot pot place, dude. It's $25 for 2 hours. 26 now. They upped it once because I think it's just like it's one of the craziest deals I've ever seen. Constant like beef, like Angus beef strips. You just keep ordering stuff, and like because it's just like 25 for the hour. You just keep ordering. They give you like endless pork liver, endless like just endless tons and like clams, oysters, like endless tons and tons of different types of meats, and these are like high quality meats, and like endless soft drinks, dude. That like I was thinking like that's I need to like have an event where we have like a group event and we just all go there after. It was one of the most amazing, and there's like no one in there. Like I don't, they just opened and you can like sell them. You know, like I'm like, is this place legit?
Well, that's
Um,
good. You can if someone lets you Zell, that means that they're a good spot. That's a local joint right there.
yeah, like if they have
Their
the
dad's
Zello,
like, there's like, why do we need to have a credit card? Be able to have
you
credit
could
card.
do the
People could just
credit card
Zell
too.
us here. I know.
It's just you
I'm
can't,
that is hilarious. That's
which
very
is
funny.
weird. And then they don't have a website and they're not on Google Maps. And so like I'm like, how'd you find this place? And then like I was like telling the lady who owned, I gave her a biz card. I was like, I can make you a website. Like that's not like you should probably have a website if you're gonna have
Jared,
like a
I can
business.
make them a website.
yeah,
What do you mean
yeah,
you
yeah,
can make them a website? Half the chat can make them a website in 8 minutes. Chat, go get on
yeah.
making that like that noodle shop a website.
And it's no noodles, bro. It's literally all meat, dude. There's no, dude.
It's just meat and vegetable. That's what hot pot
There's
is. It's
no
just
vegetables, bro.
well, what are you cook?
There's no, it's no. There's
Is
a
it a
soup.
stew?
It's yeah. They have this stew,
Are
and
you not ordering vegetables at a hot pot place? I've literally never been to a hot pot place that doesn't.
this
I
is the
buy.
only
I
hot pot place I've been to.
oh.
It's literally just like every type of meat you can think of.
I now need to jump in here. I'm slightly worried you're going to like some ladies like copping off rat meat, putting it. There's no Google Maps, there's no reviews, there's no website, and
It
some
was,
lady is just hawking off suspicious horse meat, rotted
dude,
goat meat, and just throwing it into a
dude.
pot
They
in
have
front of you.
wagyu beef that you can just keep ordering. That's the $35
Dude,
one. You can just keep
that
ordering endless wagyu beef.
the Wagyu beef scam, right? That's a scheme is all hell.
Yeah, I know this game. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All
But
right. I'm just
there's
checking.
it tastes really good. So like it's this is part one of those schemes that I'm just one of the goofs on because dude,
You're a sucker.
I'm a sucker for wagyu beef. I'll be honest. I'm a sucker,
Oh,
and here's the reason why, dude. The wagyu beef they have here, it's like it literally melts in your mouth. Like I don't want to know how they got it, and I it's probably not
I don't know.
very
I don't
great.
want to know what animal it is. Okay.
It doesn't even need to be beef. It tastes so great, and you can
Well,
like get
good
it.
news. It's not beef.
Isn't it? Are we talking about like fitness? Like you guys got to try this hot pot. Yeah,
No,
no,
we're
like
hot pot. We've made it 9 episodes in to start chilling hot pot to everyone. Also, newsflash: we own the hot pot place. It's our hot pot place.
yeah, yeah. Imagine how crazy that would be if I was literally just pushing like a bit like this business that I had like 10% on, and I'm like everyone go. By the way, this is Seafood Market in on like Arch in like Ninth Street in Philly. You don't have if you don't. I get it. Go on to Philly. You don't want to go. You don't want to get shanked. I get it. But like this one place is good. And by the way, yeah, just don't. This is the only reason to go to Philly. Philly's not a great place to go.
Yeah, don't get shanked in a hot pot place because then we're liable, and I don't want that on my conscience. And
Yeah,
most
no,
importantly, my bank account.
no. So I turned into a fitness podcast the other day. Scott Becker, what?
Yeah,
That's so mysterious.
he's saying he tuned into our fitness podcast, and meanwhile we're ranting about hot pot. So, my bad, Scott. This is we obviously got
The,
derailed. But I swear, if you fast forward like an hour and a half, we were talking about fitness at some point.
I will say, just to get back to the fitness, I talked to you a little bit about this the other day. It's so crazy. The SARMs kids. Is anyone aware of this?
Ugh.
Okay, so there's like teenagers like in puberty age taking like tons and tons of this like hormonal steroid like drug to like try to get jacked, and I don't know how many are doing this, but like it was like a cultural type thing a year ago. And talk about something that's like if you just had one guy like point of guidance, one leader in your life that like you trusted to tell you no, that could change your life. dude, that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard ever. Like you're gonna destroy your natural puberty growth to get abs, to get
Don't
like a
do it.
little
Well,
chiseled.
well, that's the problem with all of America's mindset right now, which is like we're such an addicted culture. It's like
Yeah,
we know that it would be way better for our long-term health to be under a certain weight or to not eat fast food. But fast food's really tasty right now. I don't have to think about cancer that will happen in 15
yeah,
years when I'm 38 years old. It's like we just want to push away all the problems which are will eventually creep up on us sooner than we think. But that's the entire culture right now, which is like immediate. Think about Ozempic.
immediate
Our
gratification.
we talked about
Yeah,
this the other stream, which is like, oh, I don't want to actually have to not eat. I want to take a drug that convinces me not to eat. Come
it's
on.
so funny. People like that, and people that do their steroid cycle after not hitting their like their body in 6 months of working out, and then they're like, all right, fuck it, I'll just take steroids. You're the lowest of the low. You're like as low as the fat fucks that take the diet pill and think it's gonna save their life. You're like lower actually,
Yes,
because
because
like
you're ruining your hormone. At least with that, like there's a hope of them coming back. You may actually fuck yourself forever. Guaranteed, you're hurting yourself forever if you do SARMs
yeah,
as someone. I mean, at any age, but let alone under 25, before your brain has fully developed and your
yeah,
body has fully developed. Oh no.
it's so crazy, and it's like, and then like I heard this one kid who's like 17, dude looks like body yeah, like it's not. And by the way, like stunted like growth, like no, he was no taller than 5'7", so it's like probably might be related. And then so there's like he's like talking about his drug use, and he's like, yeah, I want to get like to be really competitive and like Mr. Olympia and all that. It's like, dude, Arnold Schwarzenegger and all these people, they didn't have like it's like they didn't have access to these things. And by the way, they were like peaking in their like late 20s, early 30s, and it were actually just through from like late 20s to 38, 39 time. Like that's when they were like peaking. It took them a ton of time to like win those competitions. You think you're gonna win it at like 20 after like, and you could like try, but like maybe don't just abuse yourself to get there.
Yeah.
You know?
It's just you should take care of yourself, but it's also like, you know, to your point, like it takes oftentimes 10 years. Even my buddy who is the strongest person I know, he's been lifting. When I met him, he was 17 or 18 and he was jacked. And he
Yeah,
clearly worked out every single day and worked out 2 hours a day every single day, and he had been doing it for 4 or 5 years. And it's like he had good genetics and he worked out way harder than you do and he ate well.
yeah.
Not rocket science. Not rocket science.
There's so many things in life where it's like the beyond all the scams and the schemes and like beyond all that, the real way to get to your goals is just hard work. It's like outwork people, because people will say like, oh, like I'm not smart enough to do this, or I don't have the genetics to do this, and it's like you haven't even worked like a day. Like, and people don't know because they'll be like, oh no, I tried. People do this in coding all the time. Well, they'll be like, oh, like I did like a coding tutorial and like I did all this. It's like, but have you like actually consistently worked maybe like 4 hours a day on this, like for every day? And then they'll be like, no, I'm just not smart. Like I'm not good at problem solving. I have low IQ. And it's like, you're just, that's like your loser brain taking charge, and it's like, you're supposed to beat that out of yourself. Yeah, schemes survive on laziness, 100%. The like convenience and laziness is where schemes thrive.
Yeah, but also, I mean, that's the thing is, it's funny because I'm like, if you told me what I like to think of everyone in terms of the seven deadly sins, I think that we do have one sin that we gravitate most towards. My sin that I most move towards is sloth. Like
Yeah.
I, I'm a. Let me put it this: I'm a chill ass dude. You tell me that we're just gonna go look at the sky and go for a walk for 12 hours, I'll go, sounds like a fucking party
Yeah,
to me.
yeah,
That sounds
yeah.
amazing. I'm very
Do you
content and I
surf?
don't.
Are you a surfer, bro? Because that would fit
Not yet.
perfectly.
My problem is my hair's not blonde. I don't have bleach
Ah,
blonde
true,
hair and
true.
rippling
Yeah,
abs,
yeah.
and I don't tan well. And I'm also like a northern European descent, so the beach is bad
Right,
for me.
true, true.
But other than that, I've got like everything else that those hot beach guys got. Okay,
The mentality, the chill dude mentality.
that's
It's
right.
funny, yeah. Everyone leans towards a certain sin, yeah, and it's like it's good to know yourself. Know thyself. It's like I have a ton of like things where, especially, it's like if you have a certain anxious thought that you hit, I'll have like three anxious type of like intrusive thoughts that just
Mm.
cycle every like every 3 days. I just get every day there's one, and then when you look at those and you can look outside in, you can be like, okay, boom, that's my demon. I'm gonna. That's what I'm gonna.
What do you
Hard
think your
work.
What do you think your seven deadly of your sins is, Jared?
Definitely like. I want. I think control. Like wanting to have control is
No,
one. That's not
it's
like a sin, but like I.
pride,
I know. I
sloth,
know.
jealousy, and
Pride. Definitely pride.
yeah.
Definitely pride.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's why like you and I are. This is why I love talking to you. It's like being able to know what your weakness is or what your gravitation is. I know how little I don't want to work, and I know how lazy I am a lot of the time. Like I know when I'm done nothing. I'm fully
Yeah.
aware.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, let's be honest, buddy. You only did like 2 hours, but that's why I'm a great schemer. Because when I realize I have to like especially when I've actually worked a job for the few years of my life that I've actually worked for someone else, I'm like, fuck. I only have 2 hours left in the day, and I actually have to show these people something. What can I pull off in an hour and a half to make them think I'm a winner? And it's
Yeah.
amazing how
Yeah. I
much
see what
you
you're
can get
saying.
done in an hour and a half when you realize I have to get all of my productive shit done right now.
And it's well, it's interesting because like your sin will uh, like it becomes like you can make it good to some extent. I'm saying that's some shaky territory there. I'm not saying you can like the sin is good, but you can like overcome it and get like some good qualities. Uh, if you as you overcome yourself, it's like if like for instance with the pride thing, it's like you overcome that enough, you can get very good at humbling yourself, which I think is one of the biggest
Yes.
skills you can have. It's like I have to humble myself a ton, and not that I mean everyone else does, but it's like the way my brain works is like dumb, so I have to like over humble myself, and sometimes,
And
and
when I know I'm giving myself an excuse to be lazy, I'm like, all right, well, go to the gym.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
and you trick yourself, and that's the most important thing is when you recognize your faults, you can then allow yourself to have the agency to attack those faults and to be like, I'm going to do the opposite because I know what I'm naturally I'm going to naturally go towards.
yeah. Pride is a huge sin. Also, knowing when not to take the bait on certain things. If you catch my drift, especially when it comes to fighting, when it comes to like being like that's one of the for men developing. No one even like tells you that. Or at least I wasn't told that. Like growing up and learning when how to pick your fights is huge, and that like not being defined by other people is huge when it comes to the
Yeah.
pride situation.
You have to, and I think that what we have this tendency because we only see out of our own eyes to think that the world is related around us. It's not related about us. Very little is about you, and especially if someone's being a
No,
dick.
I disagree.
Right, as I should, you're like my gravitational force is actually stronger than the sun's. Okay, you revolve around Jared the Coder.
Yeah,
But the second you realize that, like, even when people are being dicks, it's not about you. It's never like no one's mean. No one, literally, no one on the planet is a dick unless they're a sociopath or a psychopath, just for fun. It's because they are insecure about they got made fun
yeah,
of at
it's
work
true.
today, or they're scared about they look bad, or they feel dumb, or they think that they're ugly. It's always something. It's
Yeah,
always something. And also, if someone doesn't like you, so
fuck
what?
it.
People are dicks to me all the time, and I literally laugh. I'm like, oh my god, that they
Yeah,
must be having the worst day ever. I'll laugh with my friends. I'm like, did you see what that lady just said to me? Oh
yeah,
my
yeah,
god.
yeah.
I'm like, that's crazy. But you realize that just like that negative energy it's a scheme. It's a trap.
It
They're trying to
is.
bait you in. They're putting a little carrot on a stick, dangling out in front of you, being like,
Yeah.
I feel like a piece of shit. So I'm gonna see if I can get this regular nice guy to feel like a piece of shit right now. And they're dangling that carrot so that you bite.
And
Don't
seeing
give
that in
in.
real time is crazy. Seeing it like, or someone try to poke, or seeing like that and not giving in, it's empowering. It's like you're like, oh wow, like I could just be and not be affected by things. Like that's a. It's great to learn that.
It's funny because we could also relate this back to the fitness topic. I mean, how many of those like jacked up dudes on the internet are just clearly they're just fighting through exercise. They're doing exercise for pure aggression, and then
Yeah,
they're using it so that they can lash out and be the big strong guy. And it's like that's all you can take exercise and fitness in that direction. And if you do, you're a loser.
yeah,
That's you're just a dork.
yeah. There's something like about that whole like also fitness isn't like violence or like lifting weights isn't violence, and I think there's something about the fitness world where people will kind of think they're a little, oh dude, you know the what's his fucking name, Bradley Martin. You know how he's doing the whole
Yes,
like, dude, I'm 260, bro. Like that whole thing where he's like he's saying that he can beat all these MMA fighters because they're small guys, and there's a point to what he's saying because he's massive,
sure.
and so obviously like size is huge. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's like major with fighting, but he's talking to like the most elite fighters in the world, and he's like, dude, I'm 260.
I hate to break it to him, but there's and now it's true. Like and even my friend who's really into MMA and does a lot of even sports. He's made a lot of money sports betting on MMA because he really understands like who like
Yeah,
he understands bouts really well. But even he was saying he's like if you have over 170 pounds of weight to you, you can be kind of a problem for almost any for especially most dudes. If you're 170, it's really a weight thing for the most
yeah,
part. It's like how much mass do you have to throw around. And if you're 5'8" and 5'7", like if you're maybe 5'8", 5'7", but 170 pounds, even less than that, and you really know how to fight, you're gonna kick Bradley Martin's ass. You're gonna
yeah.
murder Bradley Martin,
It
especially if he
also
doesn't know how to fight. You're gonna
this
destroy him.
like the human body is like one thing. Like a man's body is like, people always think it's like this scale that goes up and up and up, where it's like weight is not a, there's a perfect window of weight in a guy, and like be like a 210 guy versus a 260 guy. The 260 guy, I'm sorry, like, and let's say same height, the 260 guy, the explosivity is gonna start to get lower over time. Like it's, there's like gravity exists. Like there's
Mm-hmm.
not. Um, I'd say like 220. That's why you like all these like running backs are like 220. Like that like 200 to 220 range is like perfect for exposed for like power. And I feel like 260. It's like he's not gonna be as like it's not like it just scales up so much like more and
There's a
more and more.
consequence to weight too, and there's a
Yeah, yeah,
consequence
yeah.
to mass. It's you are less agile and nimble, and like some dude who's 5'11" and 180 could probably kick the fucking shit out of you, Bradley Martin. Like I God forbid that ever
Dude,
happens.
he said it to what's his face? What's like the most popular MMA guy,
Like
the wheat
Nate Diaz,
Nate Diaz.
he
Yeah,
said
yeah,
that to Nate Diaz.
yeah. And Nate
Nate
Diaz is
Diaz will
like
eat
around
him.
6 foot too, and
Yeah,
he's
Nate
like,
Diaz will literally eat him for breakfast.
yeah. And it's so funny, dude. When Nate Diaz said, he was like, "You're a podcaster, brother." Like he
Yeah,
said it so nice.
I know. Nate Diaz doesn't even have to respond. He's like, okay. He's like, yeah,
Yeah.
sure. It's like,
Yeah, imagine running holding 40 pounds of, yeah, I mean it's not, yeah, like it, I mean 260 is big. Like don't just fight people like 260. But, like if you're
oh
like 180, but like
no,
I'm just saying
you
it's,
should avoid fighting. Hey, we'll also say I'm pro. You should not have conflict with anyone. Pretty much, like
yeah.
I've had very limited bouts where I've even had to like engage physically in my life, and I've never been in a real fight except for my brothers and my friends kicking the shit out of each other.
Yeah,
But
like it is smart to like know what your lines are, I think, in life, and like know when to fight and when not to fight beforehand. And also don't be around a ton of booze all the time. Like, like, I mean, I'm not saying like people can do what they want, but it's like if you're like addicted to relieving stress by getting super wasted and fighting on the weekends, you're probably gonna go to jail eventually. That's
Or
just
get
seen
your
that a
neck
ton of
broken,
times.
you know?
Or
Like,
or or you think you're tough because you fought a bunch of like
and
drunk
then you pick a
idiots.
fight with Nate Diaz. Have you ever seen the video of
Exactly.
the guy who picks a fight with Nate Diaz on the
Oh
street?
my god, what a retard.
It's literally, I'm just like, it's like going up and poking a bear. It's like,
That's so dumb.
yeah.
People
And
don't
that,
fully understand if you're training all day, every day fighting, what that means.
yeah, they're gonna eat you.
Yeah, learning how to de-escalate instinctively is a really good habit to build. Yeah,
Of
liquor is a
course.
waste, only kills the body in all ways. I agree.
Yeah, Kevin, on your point
And
about de-escalation, you know, this is something like it's almost you can always like I can't tell you how many times people perceive me being aggressive because I also say crazy. I can be bombastic. I can say hyperbole. I can be loud,
the other
and
day
I
you're just like you're just calling me the N word over and over again on the pod, and I just made me uncomfortable. I just wanted to say it I just wanted to let that out there. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. For anyone saying Jack wouldn't do that.
and my career's over. I knew it. I this day would come. Oh
So yeah,
God,
sometimes I freak out a little bit, you know. Just,
no, but 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 the point
sorry.
being that like no, it's funny, but it's listen. You have that goof on me forever. That are like and it's also never not
the
gonna be funny.
it's a funny meme. It's a funny skit.
Boy, but yeah, de-escalation. Like you very rarely do you ever have to be in a fight and conflict. I can't tell you how many times I've talked to people like, oh, did I say something that offended you? And be like, I'm an idiot, man. And what I do immediately is hey man, I'm an idiot. And
Yeah.
just saying like, yeah, I'm dumb and goofy. People are like, oh, okay. And then I'm like, how are you doing? And you can re-engage people and change the conversation. I try. I'm self-deprecating a lot. It's partly to humble myself so that I don't let my own ego get out of check. But it's
Yeah,
also
yeah.
good just because it reminds the people around you that I'm going into the world knowing that I'm still human and I don't think I'm that hot shit. And if
And
people
all
know
yeah.
that, they immediately de-escalate naturally. If you
Yeah.
walk around like a prideful asshole, people are like, "Fuck that guy. I don't like
It's
him."
true.
And I
And
don't like them either. So I'm yeah, kick his ass. I'm on
yeah.
board.
Yeah, like and also when you're self the real thing I like about the self-deprecating, well, to a point, there is a point where it's like
Totally.
yeah, like you know, like there's like if you're just like Louis CK is doing like an act, it's like that because I know some people their personalities like Louis CK, and it's like that's not you're kind of just like playing that up a little bit, but
Yeah.
like there's a point. The part of the reason why it's so powerful though to like just say the true things about yourself is that like that's it's almost like you're killing demons. It's like there's and it's also how like guys in social groups like test each other. It's like you poke and then you're almost like seeing if that it's like do you have little demons with on you like it's like do you have little like it's like
Yeah.
what are your holes and it's kind of how like people especially guys bond is like you just say truths you say like truths about each other or
Yeah,
yourself.
it's the vulnerability loop. I talk about this all the time. By the way, there's like a grasshopper walking around on the blinds behind you. Like I swear to
What,
is that
seriously?
a spider or a
Yo,
grasshopper?
that's huge. It's all right, he's like he's hopping around.
It's a grasshopper. Dude, I found the other day I'm in Florida. I found this gigantic orange grasshopper. It was probably about the size of the palm of my hand. It was
Yeah.
really big. Bright orange. My dog wanted to kill that thing so bad. So bad.
Did you let him?
No, she was it was on the opposite side of the cage. She brings me lizards all day when I'm down in Florida. She's just dropping them at my
Ah.
feet. And then I looked over the other day. She's just rolling around on a mat. I'm like, oh, that's cute. And she just has a lizard carcass. She's just rubbing her back into the lizard carcass she killed. She's the sweetest, nicest dog too. I love her. I love her. She's the best.
So is this protein? Yeah, I'm gonna eat that. Yeah, yeah, I gotta get my oh have you seen I gotta get my bug protein. Have you seen what if that's like I like did that?
Jared and
Like
Jack's bug protein scheme. Can we launch a Schemeology line of bug protein? That would make my day.
Oh, dude, well, are you aware of the whole like legitimately like eat bugs thing? Where like people are
Yes.
like trying to get people to eat bugs
Yeah,
to
my
like fight
friend
climate
asked my
change?
other buddy. My friend asked his other buddy. He's like, "Hey, are you gonna consider bug protein?" My friend's like,
The
"No, I'm not."
fuck? It's like I'm not a slave peasant. Like that's insane.
Listen,
Like that's not.
I'll put it this way. I told my friend the other day, like, I'm not above eating insects. I just would literally have to eat the insect to survive.
Yeah, it's not like, and people like this. That's why, dude. They're gonna start selling bugs in cities. I'm telling you, and because and everywhere else in the world, you're like, oh, like you can just if you have like if you own one chicken, you'll never have to ever eat like bugs ever. they they make 300 eggs a year. Like that's it's like that's almost if you have two, then you're fine, you're good. It's like there's so much you can grow potatoes pretty easily. Life is like we have so much soil and land. Like I promise you, if you ever feel stressed that you have to eat bugs, I promise you, it's not true.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to pea protein before I'm going to bug protein. Let me just say that right now. It's
What's
also,
the deal
by the
with
way,
pea protein?
well, there's just the whole deal is like, I think there is a whole large segment of whey protein that do have chemicals and process in them that give people cancer, like
Oh yeah,
knowingly. A lot of whey protein is genuinely not good for you. The protein consumption, the amount of protein it gives you, is really helpful. It's like you see something that's like, I'm giving you 70 or 80 grams of protein, and you look at the ingredients and it's like monolithicrate, cyanide, and then like 70 other things with just as long names, and it's a lot of that shit's really not good for you. So the whole
yeah,
like pea protein, plant protein phase came on like, okay, well, if you're just trying to have like an extra 30 grams of protein a day, we can get you. It's not going to be as good as whey protein from a protein density and consumption format, but it will have less carcinogenic and cancer
yeah,
causing chemicals in the process of making it. But there are better whey proteins that use animal protein products, still have a pretty, but their problem is they're expensive. Like good whey
yeah.
protein that's not bad for you is expensive. It's very
Dude,
expensive.
just go to $26 hot pot. Dude, I probably when I leave there because we just keep ordering. It's so crazy. We just keep ordering plates of like these raw meats, and I think I have 200 grams of protein. I was thinking about it. I was like, when I leave that place, I'm dude, go to the hot pot place. It's like pea protein. Dude, imagine, Jack, imagine that whole time, and I was like agreeing that you were legitimately talking about urine protein.
Wait, what do you think I was talking about? I know. I every day I piss into a jar and it filters it down and I absorb the proteins from my own urine. Oh
Dan, you want
god.
to go to hot pot this week? But anyway, so you guys against whey? I don't like getting protein from non-natural stuff because if you eat a lot of for me, like I feel like if I eat a lot of stuff that isn't like natural, my stomach, I'll get gut issues.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not necessarily anti whey. It's just that good whey protein is really expensive, and there's only certain brands that don't have a lot of bad shit in it.
Yeah,
And it's hard. Even me, I'll sometimes like if all I have is like shitty chocolate whey, I'll sometimes do that if I'm working out with friends or whatever at a buddy's place. But yeah, it's not it's not always the best, to be honest.
it's a convenience. It's like you get that protein pretty easily. I think just like quickly cooking up some ground beef is awesome for getting like I just stock up on ground red meats and those are that's and it's actually like it could be pretty cost effective if you know how to source it. Eat what your family's eaten in history. Do your genes good? No, 100. Maliki knows what's up. Eat what
Yeah,
your
Maliki has
family
been
eats.
based this entire time. I gotta
Yeah,
be honest.
Maliki's always based. No, like if you sort of like have family foods, even stuff that you grew up with, that's like healthy. Like stick to that. You'd be surprised. I don't know how to explain that. It's probably some genetic thing. I don't know.
What, eating what your family's eating?
Well, like it works so well.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
and
because there's only the last 50 years have people been eating literal garbage. Before
yeah,
that, it was your
true.
parents are like, "What did you?" Do you know the first time my grandfather lives down the street? You know how old he was the first time he ate out?
Oh my god. Wait, how old?
24.
Are you serious?
He ate at home until 24 because he
That's
couldn't
so
afford.
cool.
Jared, he couldn't afford to.
Well, that's not cool, but
No, no,
that's
but that's
awesome.
he lived in the Bronx. He was like a lower middle class family. Eating out used to be cripplingly expensive.
Yeah.
A potato used eating healthy food like eating vegetables and meat was way cheaper than eating at a restaurant for most of human history.
Also,
Restaurants, this is a very recent thing. Like he couldn't
yeah,
afford to eat out. His mother made dinner every night and that's what he ate.
that's dude, and also, and it's so funny because getting used to eating your own or cooking your own food, especially if you're a young man and you're like live alone or like live with your buddies or whatever, like getting used to cooking your own food and knowing how to prepare your own food is like you have to. I heard like Andrew Tate say something against that where he's like, I don't cook my own food and like something like that. I'm like, dude, you're a fucking idiot. Like if you like cook your own food, you learn so much about how your nutrition works for the rest of your life. You're gonna like try things out. You're gonna learn what works for you, what doesn't, what works for building muscle, what doesn't. You're gonna do it get it exactly the way you want. It's a life skill. Um,
I cook on
like
average 2 to 3 times a day. I cook breakfast and
yeah,
dinner every day, pretty much. Or if I'll have leftovers. If I make a big pasta, or I'll make chili or bulk meals that I'll be able to eat over 3 or 4 days for dinner, and then for breakfast I'll make an egg sandwich or toast with whatever, with or like granola or something like that. But like,
yeah.
I cooking is by far my favorite hobby. I
And,
love it.
and I know you'll appreciate this, but it's like just to add on to the cooking as a hobby value. If you have that, if you know how to cook, that's a way you can like share with new groups of people. It's a way you can immediately express yourself and provide value with new people you meet. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
perfect.
it's a way for me. It shows a lot of things. It shows that like I care enough to make them something. It's a way for us to socially bond, so we're not on screens or technology.
Yeah,
It's also the oldest way that human beings have bonded throughout. It's ingrained in our genetics. Sharing a meal with someone, giving someone food, like that
yeah.
used to be everything. Some stranger on along a path on a road, you give them like a portion of your stew, and they're like, "I will kill for you now. You're my blood brother." Because you gave me a meal tonight.
The oh yeah, Dan's like he's also multimillionaire as chef's cook for him. Yeah, no, I'm saying pushing the it's fine if he does that, but pushing that idea I think is he can do what he wants, but I think it's like super dumb. It's like there's so much value in cooking. Like there's and yeah, eventually your wife will cook for you, but before then, cook for yourself. Money's
Totally.
not a measurement of a person these days. Dude, Mr. Beast, he's not a fitness influencer, but we have to talk about Mr. Beast at one
Okay.
point. The dude's nuts.
Yeah. I've
I,
seen a couple. I remember Mr. Beast back when he was counting, like reading the dictionary and like counting to 100,000 or
you were
something.
watching then?
Yes, that's how I knew of
Whoa,
Mr. When he got, I figured out when he got really famous, and then I heard Mr. Beast, and I was like, oh, the numbers guy, and they're like, nah, he's like giving people Lamborghinis, and I'm like, wait, what? No way.
dude. I think he okay. This is my conspiracy theory side. I think he spawned some like I think he made like a deal with like some devil.
Oh, he
I'm
made a
like
deal.
mostly kidding,
No, I know.
but like it sounds like a ritual. When he said Logan Paul like a million times, it's like he's like doing like he like spawned Logan Paul. He actually went on his podcast. Like I don't know,
Yeah,
it feels like witchcraft.
he's a no. He's just a big time schemer, and
He is just a big time
he's a
schemer,
big time schemer that has he has follow through of a god. Like
dude.
he's
Yeah,
willing to just
obviously,
sit
yeah,
down and say count to 100,000. That's just follow through. Which, by the
yeah.
way, mad respect because my follow through is very low by nature. That's my whole sloth sin coming out. But I mean, the man just has insane follow through and was and all he focused on was improving his craft. The whole Will Smith. hours and hours of beating on my craft. Just he beat
dude.
on his craft.
Yeah, no, you can 100% Maliki saying there's a force in this world. You align it to get what you want, dude. I want to do a whole stream on that, but like the reason why I think these things, because like, okay, I grew up very not like religiously at all, but part of why I think these things is like there's a part, and I don't know if you've also had this, but there's a part of my life where I started like thinking of things and like kind of wishing for it to some extent and like kind of making some deals in my head like when I was like a kid, and then all of a sudden all of it happened
Mm.
really, and then every single thing happened, and it freaked me out. Like
Oh,
I think you can actually like manifest shit,
oh, I've manifested a lot of things.
but
I
in dark ways though, in not good
oh,
ways.
I don't know. I feel like most of my manifestations have been positive, like
Oh
career.
yeah, yeah.
Like I
I
think.
just mean like I think you can do it. You can sell yourself, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, you're saying you can sell yourself. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't take it from necessarily the religious angle, but I do think you can sell you can give up who you really are in exchange for glory in some arbitrary metric that it's probably something for your own ego or for other people, but you can sell yourself out or your real belief system or what you naturally align to in exchange for other things and sell yourself down the river and just give up who you really are and destroy yourself.
Yeah. I just yeah. Well, and I feel like there when I see someone like really really want something to such a crazy, you can hear it in like Eminem's early music.
Mhm.
You can hear it in that. It's like listen to, like If I Had, that song,
Yes.
like yeah, like he's like literally like talking to the devil and like asking like it's like I mean I'm not saying that that's like, I shouldn't
Dude,
say literally,
when
but
I
like
when I when I when I when I was applying to college, I
yeah,
really did not want to go to college, but I didn't have a better
same.
alternative at the time.
Yeah.
And so I went there and I remember getting into college and was like, I need to drop out. I don't, but I need a reason to drop out. I need money and a good enough reason to leave. And it has to happen. I don't know how it's going to happen, and I can't tell you how many days I sat on my ass doing nothing, but somehow it happened. And it happened because I knew that. I believe I have I remember I remember being alone at in this house, in my parents' house, after the cryptocurrency I worked on in Serbia failed. And I came back a dejected, much poorer, sadder 20, 21-year-old version of myself, 21-year-old version of myself. And I remember sitting alone at my parents, like they're telling me to go back to school. I don't want to go to college. I want to go back into tech, but no one's hiring crypto community managers in 2017, 18. Well, after everyone's lost all their money,
I remember
and I
that. Yeah.
and I remember sitting at my house for like 6 months, and everyone was like, "Go back to school, you're a fucking idiot. What are you doing?" And I was like, "I have to get back into tech, and I have to scheme my way." And I got into this startup accelerator called Antler, which is basically like they bring in 100 founders. You have to apply to it. They reject a couple thousand people, and they accept 100 founders, bring them into a room for 10 weeks, and they hope that maybe 10 or 15 of them come together and start 10 or 15 companies, and then they invest in maybe 9 or 10 of those companies. That's like the whole
Yeah.
Antler model. And I got into Antler, and I schemed my way into Antler. I crushed the interviews. I was the youngest person in the room by like 5 or 6 years.
Nice.
Actually, no, there's like a handful of people. There was maybe one or two other people that were below 25. Shout out to Jonathan and Yao. And I remember getting into Antler, and I thought to myself, if I don't build a company in this thing, I have to get these fucking people to hire me.
Yeah.
And I didn't do anything specific. I just planted the seed. I was like, yeah, I'm a great community manager. I'm just really good at it, planting more tactfully than that. And
Yeah.
then they brought me into a room and they're like, how would you like a job to run the program here? And I remember sitting to myself like, no fucking way. I had like $50,000 left to my name. I had to give a girl 6 months cash in advance on an apartment because I had never had a W-2. I was sleeping on couches for months, and this person offered me a job at a venture capital firm for not a lot of money, but it was a great job that I could leverage into something else. And I was like, the scheme's back on. I
Yeah.
did it.
Yeah, yeah.
I did it.
Well, dude, like the real thing that's like super telling in the story is like I think the power of that is self belief. It's like I think if you fully believe in yourself and what you're doing, it draws so much power to it and it becomes real. Like self
Yeah.
belief, that's like really like when we're working out or we're pushing ourselves to do whatever, it's like you're practicing pushing your self belief. Like, and whenever we see like the best athletes or like you see Michael Jordan, you see like all these, you listen to Mozart, like you're seeing someone following through and manifesting the purest form of self belief where they're just like, yeah, this is like I'm pushing greatness right now and I'm doing it and I can do it and they're doing it. And it's and like point of like what you're saying, it sounds like you just like believe in yourself
I
and
do
you
believe
just
in
did it.
myself.
And
I
you
did
do
it.
believe in yourself.
I
Yeah.
know. I believe I've the one thing I've had, and I question myself. I know when I lie. I know when I make a mistake. I know when I do a bad job at something. I know when I drop the ball. But the whole time, I consistently believe in myself. I just go, you dropped the ball there. You didn't push that guy.
Yeah.
You let them go. A lot of my biggest issue right now recently has been not pushing the sale hard enough for my fundraising boot camp. Just like not following up with someone, or someone says they want to hire me for one-on-one consulting, but I'm like, yeah, I don't know if you really need me. And I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, what the fuck are you doing? Shooting yourself in the foot. You're losing yourself money. But like,
Yeah.
the point is, I still believe in myself, and I recognize that's something I just got to work on, and I got to grow at.
Yeah. And it's like tapping into that, especially like tapping into it young, is like game changer. Like when you
Yeah.
just like unlock and you're like, you know what? Like it's just me. And I got, if no one's going to believe in me, I have to believe in myself. It's like, anyone listen to Gurren or watch Gurren Lagann? You watch Gurren Lagann? Where it's like, don't believe in me, believe in the me that believes in you. I used to love that show as a kid.
No,
Or or Art says, or we're all in survivorship bias matrix, LMAO. Yeah, maybe.
or we're all, that's the other thing too. But I think that the main thing is, it's part of it is survivorship bias, so we're creating this mirage. I think the other thing is a mixture of self-belief and just having the forethought of like, how do you think generals win battles? They're planning to win. It's not
Yeah,
a, you know what I mean? Like, and not to equate myself to a general or anything, but you can think 6 steps ahead. And if you're honest about the steps it takes to get somewhere, and you work hard, and you're in the room when other people aren't, the likelihood that you're going to be put into that position eventually, that eventually you're going to manifest something good for yourself, is really high, because you've taken all the steps, you put yourself in the room, and you've been consistently beating on your craft for long enough that you're going to get lucky, that something's going to work out. But it's like you have to be
yeah,
in the room, and we've talked about this. It's positioning versus luck, the age old
exactly.
conversation we come
Yeah,
back to.
100%. Why is that so like powerful conversation? Though, like you know,
It's powerful for a number of reasons. It's powerful because all of us, even people who are good at positioning and allow themselves to be lucky and get lucky, and by being in the room, we forget after enough time.
that's
Because
true.
even for me, I've been thinking to myself, sometimes I doubt myself. I'm like, dude, I haven't had like it feels like I haven't had a really big win. Like I
Hmm.
haven't sold a huge deal. I haven't made a ton of money. I've been consistently growing. Sometimes I dip down. Sometimes I'm out of a job and I'm like trying to find something new for 3 or 4 months, and I'm dipping into savings. I have those savings and I'm comfortable, but like it's easy to go, 3 4 years where it feels like you're just kind of like inching up, and you're like, am I even inching up, or
Well,
I'm going behind?
yeah,
And then all of a sudden, boop, you make five
yeah.
million dollars. Like something happens.
Well,
This podcast blows up or whatever it is, and you're like, oh shit, like, and all of a sudden people are like, he's so successful, and you're like, dude, fucking 3 weeks ago I thought I was a failure.
well. Also, I think a lot of that is because you're just building up latent power. Like it's
Mm,
just like not. It's not like your power level's increasing, but you're
right.
not like it's not becoming. And I think a lot of reason why it takes time for things. That's why it's like it takes 10 years to. For me, like you shouldn't even expect anything without like 10 years of hard work. You shouldn't expect anything. You know what I mean? Like you should
No.
never expect anything, but you shouldn't expect anything. It's fine if you're successful and you have that immediacy, but like you shouldn't expect anything because it's like it takes a lot of time. And
Yeah.
I think especially when it comes to like successes and like doing something really valuable, a lot of times we have so many opportunities to do things valuable, but we don't want to do this one thing because we
Yeah.
don't maybe want to be defined by that, or we don't want to do this. So it's like when things take like years, see you, Dan, crush the gym. When things take years, like you're often just like your power level is increasing, and you're like the position that's perfect for you is waiting to reveal itself.
Yeah.
And once it does, it'll be wild. That's
Yeah.
why, but it's like endurance. If you don't have endurance, you're going to never have anything happen to you ever.
Yeah.
That's good.
It takes a long time. And I remember having this, I had this really still moment, like the quietness on a pond, on a non windy day. And I remember having this moment right in the middle of my crypto buzz. And it was like crypto was blowing up. The cryptocurrency I was working on was at an all time high. And I was maybe 19, maybe 20. And I had, almost $2 million in crypto. And I remember having
Yeah.
this moment going, it was smart for me to be in the room. I invested smartly. I was clever, but also I just got at 20 years old as lucky as you could possibly ever get. And the reality is it just hit. I realized that the luck of entrepreneurship, it hit for me maybe 5 years into the game. I had been building Minecraft servers at 15, had some like real businesses young, so I got started early. But I remember just this moment, like 20 or 21, where I was like, it happened 5 or 6 years into the game, and I just happens to be that I'm 20, and it's
Yeah.
happening now. And then, by the way, I kind of fucked it up. So that's the other part of it, is you don't have the wisdom when it happens young.
Yeah.
And I remember,
It's true.
if that happened to me now, I'd
Yeah. It'd
have
be
$80 million
crazy.
dollars.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But Maliki says there's a club and you're not in it unless you sell your soul. There's reasons why some make it, and some are one hit wonders, etc. That there's a lot of truth to the like when it comes to like the crazy wealth and like
Yeah,
the people, the big names. There is a lot of truth to the be in the club and sell your soul.
yeah,
You'd be surprised how many. I mean, I living in New York. I've known a lot of people that like in the entertainment side and in the like. I don't even know. It's almost like in New York. It's just like the clout side. It's like you could just
it happens in fine.
clout chasing.
Here's the easy way to know how many
Left eye.
really
Yeah.
rich people have kids that are drug addicts, that die
Yep.
young, that are fucked.
Yep.
Because what are they giving up in exchange for wealth, money, celebrity?
Yep.
A healthy family.
Yep.
Kids that aren't crack addicts.
It's dark. It's true though. It's
but
dark though.
that's what you're giving up. And I remember, I had this conversation with my mom. My mom was on the partner track on Wall Street in, right as she was having us. She was, pregnant. I was her third. We have four brothers. I was the third with my identical twin. He's technically the fourth. My point being that like she had a successful career, and she had this moment where she was like, I'm on the partner track. I could make partner in a couple years, but I'll have to work 70 hours a week and not spend time with my children.
Yeah.
So she's like, I'm going to work 15 hours a week. I'm going to work from home and I'll raise my kids. And then she went back to work at like when I was 11 or 10 and I was the youngest. So all my brothers were older and they were now, teenagers going out being more independent. But she was like, this window of time I'm going to sell my soul for is going to hurt my children. So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I can find a balance where I both make money. I help this family. She joined my dad's business and really accelerated the growth of that, when I was 10 or 11. But she
Yeah.
made a conscious choice, and my dad did in many ways too. And I know so many parents who did as well, where they're like, I'm going to give up, making $20 million over the next 10 years so that I can spend time with my children and make enough so we all have a great life and live well. But like, there's a window of time when you have kids where you being present is mission critical to them not becoming crackheads,
And also,
basically.
it's like, why are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with this stuff for anyway? If it's gonna affect your family. It's like, what's the point? It's like if you like have the big business and you crush and all this, it's like you're just gonna be you'll become schmout. And, like you'll just be this dragon with like a ton of money, like locked in with no, because people like family, like do providing for your family and like building for the people in your life. It creates life, like and like
Yeah.
it attracts community and other families, and it's like if you don't do that, that's how you see those people that are old and like they're washed up, and you just see them and they're just like hollowed eyes. They don't talk to their kids. They don't like, and you're just like, how'd that happen? Oh, you sold your soul. It's like, oh,
Yeah. You
you know,
gave up on having and then how many people do you know are just like, ah, my kid's a shithead, you know? And I'm like,
right, right,
you weren't there for him, you
yeah,
know?
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he is a shithead, but also like, are you really not taking any responsibility for that?
yeah. They'll be complaining about a low functioning kid when the reality is like what makes a kid high functioning is following what you do.
Yeah.
It's
Did
like,
you? Yeah, I go. Did you read to them every night?
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I think about the effort. My mom read to me every night. She made organic food. She only bought organic and cooked food every single day, and
It's awesome.
she worked out. And it's like it was so much effort, and it's rare and it's hard and whatever. But like you, and then people are like, your kids are so great. They're so nice. They can talk to adults. And I remember getting older at one point, and I was like, dude, thank God I had my mom. Like
Yeah.
it was just effort. It was she just put more effort into this thing than other people. And those parents were like, I just don't know how you did it, or like, I don't know how your kids turned out so great. I remember looking at them going, dude, you're a shit mom. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you're just like you just weren't as good. That's
Yeah.
it.
And it's a
That's
hard truth. It's like people want to like get pat on the back that their kid survived until like 18. It's like yeah, you didn't. It's like you brought them in and they're alive. Like good job.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
uh,
Yes, surviving till eight. We live in the time of the best medical system and like
yeah, yeah, exactly.
abundant food. So if they're not
Yeah.
alive by 18, either you did something terrible or something tragic happened. Like it's
So they could
statistically
actually
in your
be
favor.
in the foster home and probably make it there, but like, or the foster system probably make it there, but there's a ton of abuse and a ton of other issues. Like the government will make sure they'll make it
Yeah.
18, but like, and what's interesting though with the sell your soul thing, it's so that's where I think a lot of like humbling stuff comes from and saying no. Like
Mm,
I think it's super powerful as a man to grow up and like learn how to keep your life simple
mm,
and say no. Like learn how to, cuz like I think if you're like in a situation where your attention is drawn to a lot of stuff naturally, or it's like, or maybe people like give you different opportunities or something,
mm.
and it's really easy to slip because into like, it's good to be like, you know what, I'm gonna do things my way, and I
Yeah.
think that's where you solidify.
Well, because there's everyone's trying to sell you something. There's so many
Yeah.
people are trying to sell you something, and selling you something could just be like getting you to join their stupid friend group that like do drugs
Yeah,
and waste their life,
exactly,
you know.
exactly.
Or it could be selling
Yeah.
you a literal product or a lifestyle or a political agenda or whatever.
Yep.
And it's like you're giving into someone else's way of being. When are you going to wake up and decide how do you want to live your life? You
Yeah.
know, what do you want to do? And you know, something I've been the most proud of my throughout my life is like if people want to go out party or go to a club or whatever, I just don't feel phobo. I'm like, all right, have fun.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go home and
Yeah.
go to bed. They're like, do you have a plan? I'm like, it's now Saturday at 10. You guys want to do something dumb that I don't want
Right.
to do.
Right.
I wish you well. Don't. And then they're like, oh, it's not from a judgment. It's like I would rather just go to bed at 11 and wake up on Sunday and then go, yeah, let me go, I don't
And
know, work
also,
out and, you know, do something
this is the
productive.
real, and I'm just gonna be real about the whole like club thing. So like people, and also this leads. This does. We haven't been talking about fitness, but it leads into fitness a little bit because it's like a lot of people are working out so they can press that girl at the club or whatever. So like it's like retarded, but like so what you're trying to do that Saturday night when you're hitting up Jack to go to the club, the irony is like the types of women you meet by waking up early and like on that Sunday and going and to that park or doing like go to a bookstore or whatever, you're actually gonna meet like a real woman doing that. That's like you're not like the clubs you're going to is not what you think it is. Like
At the very least, like, not even to make a value judgment on women because, like, men and women are both doing the same things, but it's like, you know, me personally, like, I don't like those things. So I've dated people that, like, really like going to clubs. And, you know, there's nothing, and it's been fine. I've had healthy relationships, but the reality is they're like, oh, do you want to do this with me? I'm like, no,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't.
yeah.
And I'm like, do you want to wake up at Sunday tomorrow and go to the farmers market with me? And they're like, no, I don't. And I'm like, all right, well, it's like it just isn't going to be a long term match. And maybe they're just doing that because they're young or whatever. But like,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, Reed's like, but we love them hoes though. Yeah, good luck. Good luck with that.
yeah, best of luck, Reed. Yeah, I just
Yeah, it's so insane the club culture.
club culture is it's like it's fun. I like partying. I like getting done with my friends. Sometimes I have
Oh
plenty of
yeah,
friends
yeah,
and late nights, but at the end of the day,
100%.
I think that clubs are also just such a scheme. They're trying to it's I can't. Anytime someone's like, dude, it's like a $200 entrance fee, or like, let's get a bottle at this table. I'm like, so they're gonna make me pay $1,000 for a bottle of Grey Goose, which retails for $30 at cost,
Yeah, yeah,
maybe less. I'm like, oh god, they're scamming me. I don't like it. I'm like, if I own the club, I would be like, dude, you should totally come to my club. I'll give you a 25% discount, and then I give them
yeah,
regular price and tell them it's a discount. Like that's what I would be doing that if I had a club. I don't fault
yeah,
them, but like I don't want to walk into a scam.
yeah. It's a scam, and it's a scam for. It's like a. It takes a lot of guys' attention and towards trying to fuck, and it just puts it into their bank
Yeah.
accounts. It's really, it's really all it is. It's like, um, do you believe if I tell you that I'm 25 and never went to a club? I had multiple opportunities, dude. Dude, Reed, like that's totally cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome that you're 25 and haven't been to a club. That's
I mean, if
actually
that's what
makes
you
it
want to
seem like
live,
a good guy.
yeah, just listen, man. Like, live your life however you want. If you don't want to go to the clubs, don't go. It's like it's not a big deal. And what I will say about Kevin just said, farmers market. You're a nerd. I am. I got to be honest. I'm a
Yeah,
total
when you
dork.
said that, I was like, no,
Dude,
I
you
don't
don't
understand.
understand how excited I get looking at like an artisanal pepper or something. It could blow.
Okay, well now you're getting into gay territory. Like that
Dude,
now that's
I don't care. Are you kidding me? I'm proud. Then I'm
no,
gay.
no, I'm
I
just
take
kidding.
it. You can't hurt me. I like my farmers market vegetables.
God, you're pushing the vegetables on. You're gonna be like, hey, dude, let's check out some artisanal peppers. I'm like, oh my god.
I will. Next time you come to New York, I'm like, dude, I got this sweet activity for us to go. It's just a
You're gonna
farmers
be like, dude,
market.
this place is gonna be crazy. Like you have
It's gonna be
no idea.
wild. Dude,
It's
there's
gonna
the
be
best schemers here.
this is like the best. You don't even know. Like I don't even like. All right, we'll just go, and it's like literally just like a farmer's market, and then
For sure. We're coming up on 2 hours, by the way.
yeah, I
It's
just
about time.
realized. I think it is about time.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Art's like Jack owns the farmers market. You
Yeah.
caught me. That's why I'm pushing it so much.
No, you invite me to go to the farmers market, and it's your farmers market,
Oh,
and
and
you're
I'm not.
getting
But I won't
5%.
give you. I'm not giving you a discount, by the way. I'm
No,
just
no,
gonna be like, oh, dude, I got the. I know some guy here. I'll get you like 5% off, and it's just gonna again be market rate.
yeah, yeah. You'll push it. You'll mark everything up 5%, and then give me a 5% discount. Yeah,
That's right.
I get
I'm
the
gonna
scheme.
for sure. This has been a fun one. I
All right,
appreciate
this is a
everyone
fun
tuning
one.
in.
We talked about a lot. We talked a lot of fitness, and then we got into like a ton of other stuff. But this is a good. This was hilarious. Any last things you want to say?
That's all said. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Join the Discord if you're not there already, and
Yeah.
keep us going. Appreciate all the
Subscribe
feedback.
to the Schemeology YouTube because we're gonna be posting clips there mostly. So we're gonna see. Uh, I think it's in the description, but the Schemeology Spotify also if you want to like listen to these asynchronously. Um, but yeah, to the schemers,
The
I'll see you
dreamers
guys.
and the in-betweeners.
To the schemers, the dreamers, and the everyday in betweeners.
All right, peace out, everyone.
All right.